Hi guys, you're welcome to MJ Apparel tutorial, and in today's class you'll be learning how to cut and sew this beautiful 6 pieces blouse you see here with a front zip. If you love what you see and you really want to know how this was achieved with a very neat finishing, then please watch till the end. And if you are new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, like, and also drop a comment. In our previous tutorial, we learned how to draft the 6 pieces blouse. If you are yet to watch that tutorial, I'll be dropping the link to that tutorial in the description box. Please try and watch it so you can follow up with today's class. I've gone ahead to cut out my fabric using the pattern we drafted, and here we have the front block of the 6 pieces blouse we'll be making. In the pattern drafting class, the zipper allowance was at the back, but here I have it at the front because I want it to be on the front. You can leave yours at the back or you can bring it to the front. All you need to do is to remove the allowance on the back and bring it back to the front. So here I've gone ahead to cut my fabric and my lining. I've done the same thing for both this other side and the back of the fabric, and I've also added my allowances. I added 0.5 inch allowance on this part of the fabric and 1.5 on this side. On the lower part I added 1 inch, and also my zipper allowance is 1 inch. Here we have the back block of the 6 pieces blouse, and as you can see, the center back was cut on fold because the zipper allowance was transferred to the front. So if you want yours to be at the back, you fix it at the back. And I've also gone ahead to cut the lining for the back block of the 6 pieces blouse. So the next thing we are going to be doing is to go ahead and attach my ST, and also I'll be going ahead to pad the front of the 6 pieces blouse. If you don't know how to pad a bustier properly, I'll be dropping the link to that in the description box. I have a detailed video on how to pad and sew a princess bustier properly. Here I've gone ahead to add my ST to the 6 pieces blouse, both the front and the back, and I've also gone ahead to pad the front of the bustier. So this is what it's going to look like after padding. After adding the ST and padding the bustier, the next we are going to be doing is to join the center panel to the side panel. So I'm going to go over my sewing machine to do that. When joining, you start sewing from the lower part of the blouse down to the armhole. So I'm going to be joining the center panel to the side panel for the front separately, and I'll do the same thing for the back, and I'll also go ahead to do the same thing for the lining. So I'll go over my sewing machine to quickly do that. After it, I'll come back to show you the next step. So I've gone ahead to join the center panel to the side panel. This is the back block of the 6 pieces blouse. So this is what it's going to look like, and this is what the inner part of the 6 pieces blouse is going to look like. And I've also gone ahead to iron the seam. I open up the seam and iron it. This is done so that the fabric will lay well. Here we have the front block of the 6 pieces blouse. So this is what the side look like. I've also gone ahead to join the side to the center panel and iron in between the seam. So this is what the good face of the blouse is going to look like. The bust is not really coming out because the center is divided, but the moment we fix our zip, the bust is going to be pronounced. The next thing we are going to go ahead to do is to attach the zip to the center of the front of the 6 pieces blouse. So when attaching your zip, you make sure you go up by 1.5 inch. Remember, we added the sewing allowance of 1 inch to the hem of the blouse while cutting. So when fixing your zip, you start 1.5 inch before the length of the blouse so that the zip will sit properly. So I'll go over my sewing machine to attach the zipper to the blouse, after which I'll come back to show you the next step. So I've gone ahead to attach the zip to the front of the 6 pieces blouse. As you can see, the 6 pieces blouse is already taking shape. This is what it will look like after fixing your zip. The next thing we are going to be doing is to attach our lining to the front panel of the 6 pieces blouse. So here I've gone ahead to close up my lining, and also I opened the seam and ironed it. So this is what the lining looks like. We are going to be placing the lining on the front panel of the 6 pieces blouse. First, you open up the zip because we are going to be fixing it separately. So I'll be using one panel of the blouse to explain for clarity. So you place your lining on the blouse, making sure the good face is facing the good face of the fabric. After placing it this way, the next thing you go ahead to do is to close up the neck and the hem of the blouse. You close up the hem, you close up the neck and the hem of the blouse. So I'll quickly go over my sewing machine to close up the down and the neckline of the blouse, after which I'll come back and show you the next step. So I've gone ahead to close up the neckline of the blouse, and I've also closed up the hem of the blouse. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to notch it. When notching, be careful so you don't cut in between your seam. After notching it, the next thing we are going to do is to close the zipper area of the blouse. As you can see, the place is still open. So what you will do is to try to sew close to the seam of the zip. So you try and sew close to this area so that you can have a neat finishing. And we are doing it this way because we want to hide all the seams inside. So I'll go over and do that, and I'll also close the side of the 6 pieces blouse. After doing that, I'll come back and show you the next step. So after closing the center panel of the blouse, this is what it's going to look like. As you can see, I made sure that I sewed close to the seam of the zip, and I also went ahead to close the side of the blouse. The next thing I'm going to be doing is to turn it over to the good face so you can see what the inner part of the blouse looks like. This is what the blouse is going to look like when it is being torn. As you can see, all the seams are inside and the finishing is very neat. This is what the zipper area of the blouse will look like. This is the aim of making it this way. So I've gone ahead to give it a good press, and this is what it looks like after ironing. Make sure you iron it very well to make the work look very neat. And this is what the inner part of the blouse look like. As you can see, it is looking very neat, and all the seams have been hidden inside the blouse. So here I have the back of the 6 pieces blouse. I've also gone ahead to close up the neckline, the hem, and also the side of the 6 pieces blouse, and I've also given it a good press. This is what the inner part of the back blouse looks like. As you can see, it is also looking very neat. The next thing we are going to go ahead to do is to join the front of the blouse to the back of the blouse. But before then, make sure you trim the armhole to trim off any excess you have on the armhole. After doing that, you place your back on the front of the blouse. The first thing to do is to close up the shoulder of the blouse. After closing the shoulder, you close up the sides. Make sure that the front and the back side are the same so that the length will not give you issue when closing it up. So I'll go over my sewing machine to quickly do that, after which I'll come back to show you the final result. So here we have the final result of the 6 pieces blouse. I've gone ahead to close up the side, and I've also given it a good press. This is what the inner part of the blouse is going to look like. As you can see, it's looking very neat, and this is the aim of making it that way. So here we have the final look of the 6 pieces blouse. You can go ahead to add whatever type of sleeve you want. As you can see, the 6 pieces blouse came out very neat, and it is looking beautiful. Here we have the inner part of the blouse. As you can see, it's looking very neat. You can go ahead and try yours, and also don't forget to subscribe, drop a comment, and like this video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next class.